Hey, what's up, you guys? That One English Teacher here, and I am ready to get started on our summer reading series. Before we get started, we need to make sure that we have a plan and we have all of our materials and we have all of our texts. So what I have is post-it notes for making comments and for marking different pages that I might want to get back to. I have a pack of highlighters, and I have a number of different pens. I just happen to have this already. These are called Frixion Knock. They're from Japan. I got them when I was visiting there a few years ago. What's cool about these, I just have to show this off. So you write. Boom. Erasable pens. Little fancy. You don't need something that fancy. The classic Bic pen that you can get like 20 for $1 at Walmart or the dollar store works just as well. I'm just saying, Post-its, highlighters, pens, something to mark your book if you own it. If you don't own it, because I'm going to be doing a little bit of both. So for example, for my English 3 summer reading, I have War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. This goes with the Victorian era assigned reading texts. I'm going to write in this one. I own this book. I also have, for my English 2 honors, one of the suggested novels is Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. This is part of my classroom library, so rather than having to buy another copy for my classroom library, I'm going to annotate this one in such a way that all of my notes and all of my comments can be recorded elsewhere or on a post-it note that can be removed, and that way this book is unharmed and I can put it back. So if you're borrowing from your local library, if you're borrowing from a friend, if you're sharing a text, if your teacher lent you a text, whatever the case may be, I will be showing you how to mark up your own text and how to protect a text that does not belong to you. All students who are in English 1 honors moving into English 2 honors, you have to read 2 novels. It's not as hard as it sounds because they're pretty quick reads, and the second novel you have a lot of choice with. So everybody is required to read The Alchemist. I apologize, again, my puppy got a hold of that last year. This is a very quick read. It does not have chapters per se, so much as it just has parts that are in the book. So what I would do is figure out how many pages are in the book, and then divide that by maybe 10 chapters. It depends on how many, whatever works for you. That way you have a system and you have a plan. For the English 2 honors summer reading assignment, I'm going to be doing The Alchemist and I'm going to be doing Wicked. I also have The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This is a really good text. I read it last year. I'll touch on this a little bit, but I'm not going to do a full annotation of it because I have already done this one. I also have The Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. I got this at my local library book sale. I got a lot of really fun titles. I made a video about it. I'll link it in the description below in case you are interested, but this is one of them. So if I have time, I will try to read this one as well because it sounds really interesting and because it is one of the assigned texts. So that is what I have for the English 2 honors students. For my English 3 honor students, remember we had to vote and we talked about all of the different time periods and the texts that are assigned underneath them. I have a wealth of printed texts that were the essays and the poems, and I've got a number of different time periods. I'm going to try to do one of these a day if I am able. Bear with me. So I will be covering texts from modernism, postmodernism, romanticism, and the Victorian time periods. I have essays and poems. Now, for the larger texts, for the English 3 honors reading, I am looking for Don Juan. I've yet to find it at a local bookstore. It wasn't at the library book sale that I saw, but I did find and purchase War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. This was like less than $4 at Books A Million. When they're classics like this, a lot of times you can get them fairly inexpensively. If you try, you might be able to find PDFs of some of the old texts online. All of my printed texts, the essays and the poems I found online, you probably don't have to print them out. I'm just doing it to help with illustrating annotation. For both of the grade levels, they have been assigned to either do a chapter by chapter summary or a double entry journal where you'll find 20 quotes that you think are important and then you explain why those quotes are important. I'm going to try to do a little bit of both just in case you choose to do one or the other. Now, I'm not going to be able to cover every text that is suggested. I'm not going to be able to cover every grade level either because I only have the summer reading assignments for English 2 honors and English 3 honors. If you're in a different level or if you're at a different school, if you've been assigned something different and you want me to try to help with that, Leave the information in the comments below and I will do my very best to try to touch on as many texts as possible. I'm really excited about this. I apologize if you hear my dog. He's outside. He likes to bark at the cars that pass by. But before we get into the videos on tearing these texts apart, you are going to need a notebook, or if you're going to type it, I know that the AP level summer reading has to be typed and it has to be printed. So that's different. For this process, it's going to be very low tech. It's going to be notebooks, pens, highlighters, post-it notes, texts, and that is how I'm going to handle it. You can do whatever works best for you. I am just here to guide and model and try to assist as you get ready for your summer reading. All right, go ahead, get all of your texts, get all of your materials, and then meet me back here so we can get started on summer reading. Thanks for showing up. I'll see you soon.